Well, I'm sitting here in the middle of moving. We've been moving into a new house, and place is a mess. We have stuff between two places. I've never in my life moved over a long period of time. I've always lived in apartments or rentals or was a traveler to where I had to be ready to pick up and go within a day. And so I kind of needed to have my things organized and put together so that I kind of this is different because I'm moving over the course of a month and we are working full time and doing all of the activities of life in the midst of it. So basically, it's weekends. And usually I work on weekends, but I made sure to take these weekends off so I could pack. And it's just been like, so then Saturday comes, I was like, go, 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 move as much as you can, do as much as you can. And we're packing up one room and then going to the new house and unloading that room. And what's a fascinating thing is that as I pack, I sort of see things that we can get rid of and let go of. And then as I unload, we're sort of figuring out what's fitting into the new space and then figuring out like, okay, maybe in this space it doesn't make sense to have this item, so I can let this go. So I've got piles. I've got a giveaway pile. I've got a sell for like just a few bucks pile. And then I've got like, kind of a higher end sell pile, and then I've got trash things that we can just let go of that are years old, they're garbage, they're not good. And I've really been on this process the past few years about learning how to transition from poverty mindset into abundance mindset, or not even abundance, because I feel like that's too kind of new agey, or it means a certain thing, but I believe that my thoughts create my reality. And so therefore, if my thoughts create my reality, then I look at my life and say, what is it about my life that I like? And what thoughts are creating that thing that I like? And how can I keep doing more of that thing? And what are the things in my life that I don't like? And what are the thoughts in my life, in my mind, that are creating those things that I don't like? And how do I shift it? And that's been the process that I've been on for years since I got on my own, became a single mom, was really redefining myself and figuring out like, okay, it's sink or swim, it's survival time. If I know that my thoughts create my reality, I'm gonna do it. I'm the only one responsible for me and my daughter, and it's time to stop relying on other people, and here I go. And so that's kind of been this life's journey, but the moving process is fascinating. And for those of you that saw my previous video, I was making a trellis, and I was talking about this experience I had with this person on Marketplace and how I was feeling triggered. And I've definitely noticed throughout the process of moving that I'm getting triggered more easily, things that maybe I wouldn't be triggered about under a normal situation. Because I'm in higher stress, I'm more reactive. And then afterwards, I kind of have time to reflect on the reaction that I had. And I think like, why did I respond that way? You know, what was the thing about this person that got me so frustrated that I felt the need to say this, this, and this? And then I think about listening to my parents have a conversation. To this day, I will call my parents, and they have one cell phone between them. So I don't know which one I'm going to get when they answer the phone, which is fine. That's kind of how it used to be back in the day, having a house phone. But then, I hear them talking to each other throughout the course of my phone calls. And so sometimes they're in the car, and, my mom can be quite authoritative in her expressions to my father. And I have times where I really judge it, and I'm just like, man, she is so mean to him. Or there's even been times with other members of my family where interactions have happened and they just cut to the quick. They are just sharp and strong. And maybe when that family member gets tired or whatever it is, there's something that switches them into this kind of aggressive, different personality. And this experience, I spent a long time working through those tendencies in myself, because for as much as I've distanced myself physically, I live halfway across the country from my family of origin, I am still epigenetically connected to my mother and my grandmother and my aunt and the lineage of that family line. And as I work out my life's path and my experience, it is my responsibility to acknowledge those patterns that have found their way into my expression, because we're like little tape recorders. So we see it, and even if something is happening around us and someone's being mean and we know they're being mean, then maybe later, this really happens when you have kids, then all of a sudden something comes out your mouth, you say something, and it's like, whoa, why did I just say that? Or why was I just angry? And when we start to become self-reflective, then I can take responsibility for that. So in this moment, it's a morning, Sunday morning. We spent all day working yesterday, and my husband and I had a disagreement because we go on Sunday mornings to sing and chant, and it's beautiful, wonderful. Just, Isabella, come on, honey. Come on, stay in here. We're also watching my daughter's, my ex and the dog. We're watching the dog. She's a sweet dog. Isabella, Luna, come on, honey. Come on. Isabella, come on in. Don't bark. I'll be back. I'm back. So moving is a fascinating opportunity to move energy. And one of the thought forms that I'm working against, so to speak, one of the patterns that I noticed from my family of origin, or that I picked up, is this idea of fear for the future and wanting to hold on to things. And I have connected that this associates with, I guess I'm going to call it what I experienced as the poverty mindset. So when I, early in my 20s, I decided to go to a rainbow gathering, and then I traveled, and I decided to just end up where I was going to end up. After a summer of traveling, amazing adventures, beautiful experiences, mind-opening sort of perspectives, I ended up in Taos, New Mexico. I ended up living at a place in Taos called the Hanuman Temple as a sort of live-in. I helped on the farm, I helped around the temple, I helped with different things, and then eventually acclimated into the community in Taos. That's where I met the daughter of my father. That's where I had my daughter, Rosemary. It's where I lived for about 9 years. And for almost that entire 9 years, I did not work a typical 9-to-5 job. I was figuring out how to live a different way. I was figuring out how to live in harmony with my environment, in harmony with the people around me. And financially, I was understanding that energy and money are connected. And so the way that I held my energy, lived my life, would be the way that I would be able to bring things. Things always came. This thought form that things always come that I learned at the Rainbow Gathering was something that was really helpful. And so, as a result, we were poor, poorest of the poor, dirt floor poor. We lived off of probably $300 a month. And we lived in a place that was paid for, so we didn't have to pay rent. We had $30 a month electricity. Eventually, I got some work doing house cleaning and things like that, helping people, work trade, pet sitting, those kinds of things. And so as a result, I was learning about the thought forms that were connected to poverty. And for me, because I was on this spiritual journey, for me it was about non-attachment. For me it was about wondering, can I live without money? And I found out that I can, that we can. We can live without money, and that there is this magical sort of, not magical, that makes it seem foo-foo. There is this dynamic experience that we can have, like a simulation, where if we think about things that we want to bring into the world, they come. That's why our thoughts are so important. And that's why if we're focusing on our worries or our fears, it can be damaging to us, because then that's what we are bringing into focus. But so I learned how to live without money. I practiced what was called the non-attachment principle. I was learning to let go of my attachment to things. And then my life changed, and here I am in Colorado, and I own a business, and I have a couple employees, and I have a really busy life, and it's kind of a constant hustle of serving people, because that's mostly what we do, is serve people. And so in the middle of all of that, then we have moving and shifting and the energy. So in order to move, what you have to take, so the difference between being a traveler and being someone who has a home is that what happens is over time it sort of energetically starts to settle. And once it settles, you start to feel that I can be pretty comfortable here for a while. And usually in my life as a renter, about every time I've gotten to about that point, it's been time to move. And we finally are moving into a place that we are owning. And so we are not going to have to move for quite some time. We have the freedom to settle in and make it our own energy and create our own space there. And I couldn't be more thankful. And every time I'm in the new place, I never want to leave, but then I have to come back and pack more stuff. And it feels overwhelming because there's a lot of it. And so I'm really paring down all the, as a traveler, I know how to do that. I think Isabella's hunting flies. This little girl is so cute. So it's an interesting thing. I'm stepping into, when I step into the new place and what we're creating there, it's like a, finally. But there's all the work that it's taking to get there. And I understand, I just have such gratitude because I understand the utter privilege it is to have a place that I can just settle into as someone who's been a renter for years after living in New Mexico. And living in New Mexico dirt floor poor, we also didn't have to hustle the way that we do here. So people kind of make fun of the non-developed countries, but really, at the end of the day, that's kind of all I want. I just want to be able to wake up in the morning and do, feed my animals and take care of my kid and go tend the garden and do the projects around the house, doing the cooking projects and preservation projects and herbal preparation projects and different little things that I can market and sell because I've got so many great ideas, but I don't have time to carry out those things because I'm hustling for money so that I can. So we're feeling like we're going to be able to, with this land, create a scenario where we don't have to hustle, and it's more that we can create different kinds of ways to make money with the land and with the property and with the projects that can be accomplished on the property. So it's been an amazing journey from being in the place where I observed my thoughts in my present experience and then sort of like actively worked on shifting them. And the fact that we're stepping into this house, ownership of a house, the fact that we're moving into this is absolute proof in my world that it works, because I've been doing this and now I'm just on the edge of stepping into like, oh. But I also know it's a little bit fragile, because if I give into that baser instinct of mine to want to lash out and be mean and be angry and be frustrated and feel bad for myself about the things that are happening around me, I could mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. I want to enjoy the process that's unfolding, but it's hard because there's a lot of energy. And so when I'm feeling a lot and I have to really muster a lot of energy to move the energy and to get it into the new place, and I just want to do it and I need to do it, it's got to happen. I'm hyper focused. I'm just zoned into the thing that I'm creating and doing like a spell. And it's just, and so then when I have to be interrupted, it's like, oh, it's startling, it's difficult. And then I react to the people around me because they don't understand what's happening in me, right? They're having their own experience, as they should. I don't know what to do about it, but I'm seeing it, and that's the first step of being able to create the solution. And these are long-term systematic family dynamic patterns, so it's not like I'm just gonna, it's something I have to sort of ponder and sit with and observe, and and then my husband comes home and have the conversation. Hey, I love you so much. I appreciate what you're doing. I didn't mean to lash out at you, but I'm just a little stressed out right now. Right, so that's taking responsibility for my experience. It's like, I still think that maybe, he made the wrong choice this morning, but actually also, who am I to decide what his choice should be? Because maybe he made the exact right choice for himself, and actually, once everybody left the house and I was alone this morning packing, I realized I just need a little time to myself. And I was able to sink into my own groove, and it felt really good. So maybe he did make the right choice, and so I didn't have a right to get angry at him or project my belief about what he should do today onto him. But I did. Oh, and he did too. We did. We had a disagreement. It's okay. That happens when you're married. And the thing about the loving relationship is it's the container for us to be able to have these experiences and then kind of bring it back in of like, all right, but we can do this together, and I'm going to work on being more respectful and being more kind when I have the communication with you. That's going to be my goal for Ansel. I'm going to try to practice when I'm feeling that, because I feel it. I can see it like a colored cord, like a gray cord running through my family line. It is a karma. It is a pattern. It is a thing that happens in this bloodline that I'm carrying in this body, to where there are moments where people will snap into a momentary just mean place. It's like and I believe that it is going to be better with me than it was with my mother. And I would love to say that I'm not passing it on to my daughter at all, but I do see certain echoes of it in her, but it's on a much less scale. That's the thing as we choose to work out this spiritual experience, especially with family lines. We are in a physical body, and so we are a soul having a soul journey, but then the physical body we have, that's the DNA that we carry. That's the epigenetic story that's living in our cells that we are acting out, whether we want to admit it or not. And so if we can approach all of that with awareness and understanding, we can support each other through the process, and we can assist each other in doing better. So, who knew moving could be so complex? These are the kinds of thoughts in my mind all the time. So this is why I made the channel Tales of Awakening. And these are the kinds of conversations I'm hoping to have with other people who think they're interesting and who understand what I'm saying. And I'm so thankful for the community and for the world that's out there. And I believe these videos are going to live on through time and space in a certain way. So we're just putting that vibration out there that we as humans are evolving and we are capable of it. And this is what the spiritual experience, evolution, ascension, love process looks like. because our spirits want so badly to just be in that beautifully connected place. But our physical bodies and the experiences that we're having are sometimes so aggressive and sharp. Sometimes the sharpness is being directed at me, like in my last video. And sometimes I'm the one directing the sharpness. And like we got to soften that. And as we soften it, it makes it easier for the next generation. But it's hard because there's a balance of energies. So, but that's also the good news. When you feel like you're being overcome by darkness or something, like if you think about a yin yang, like yes, if you are standing in that polarity, you are going to be overcome with that energy. But if you are feeling trapped there, all you have to do is remember that it is equally balanced. Everything is equally balanced in this reality. It has to be. It just makes sense. And so then you just switch into the opposite polarity and you can just get unstuck. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by the darkness or by stress or by anything, you can just remember, like, particularly depression or feeling, thoughts of like, I just want this to end. And that's oftentimes why people want to self-harm. Just remember that it's just a moment. It will pass. And whatever you're experiencing, there's also the opposite. So that means if you're in a very dark place, the opposite is light, and it's there for you, always there for you. And you can always invite that love in. See, we experience that other vibration as love or Christ consciousness. It's a vibration, it's a frequency, a channel that's always available to us if we just open our hearts and let it in. And then suddenly the things around us get a little easier. Like me feeling all aggro this morning, now I feel better. This was what my heart needed to do, was to share this. And my husband, what his heart needed to do is to go sit in connection and sing this morning. So it's going to make us more productive throughout the day. And in that sense, he was correct. So much love, many blessings, gratitude.